Down, SEC Tip-Off is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors, official sporting goods and outdoor retailer of the SEC, and in part by Regions Bank, the official bank of the SEC. Alabama Hoops gave us a story in last year, cutting down the Nets, making it all the way to the Final Four. And listen, love to see when you take down teams like North Carolina and others. Fish, I mean, that was a run that we kind of felt was brewing, and Nate Oates and that Tide squad made it happen.
Man, the duck of the year was Grant Nelson in the NCAA tournament. You know, I thought they were right there. I thought they played UConn as good as anybody in regards to the tournament, and it's because of the style in which they play. I remember a few years ago when Coach Nate Oates got here, and I said the pace is real. When I was at their practice, you don't see them running many sprints, but everything they do is up and down, 94 feet. The leadership of Mark Sears is going to be crucial. He'll have to continue to take it up another level, and I'm interested to see Aiden Holloway. I think the two of them can play together. Highly talented freshman, transfer from Auburn. He's there now. I think they'll play both of them together, and I think he'll shine this year as well, Pat.
The biggest thing for me last year was how Mark Sears went from off the ball 2 years ago to accepting the responsibility of not only being a point guard, but still scoring the basketball, and just as important, if not more important, accepting the responsibility of being that defensive anchor at the top of the defense. He was challenged all year by Coach Oates. Coach said, listen, if we're going to be who we want to be, you have to be able to defend in that position.
Isn't that always the story with Alabama, though? We know what we're going to get offensively, but defensively, when they guard, they can compete with anybody.
It's always been the story. You go back to when they essentially had, and I think maybe the #1 defense in the country with Herb Jones and those guys, but I think that's why this team is even better than last year's team, because the bigs of Alabama, Pringle and Waggy, could not stay out of foul trouble, had some injuries. So Grant Nelson in the tournament, if you remember, had to step in, and he had to defend in the post. He was able to do it, went to the Final Four. This year with Clifford Omari, I believe that rim protector like a Bediako catches lobs, going to allow Grant Nelson just not to have to get in foul trouble or fatigued battling with those bigs on the defensive end. So Chris Youngblood, a guy who is just so physical. You add Sears, Aiden Holloway, you talk about a chip on your shoulder? Come on, man.
I mean, listen, it fires you up, but also what's interesting about Coach Oates is that you see a team, when you see it at the forefront, what UConn was, what they were built like, to say, we can go toe-to-toe with anybody, but we're missing those one or two guys, right? I mean, that's where that opportunity comes of when you get into the transfer portal. And Coleman Coliseum right now, it is right there as one of the top, I would probably put a top 10 college hoops environment, especially when they get some of these big-time games down there.
Yeah, they're getting a new practice facility as well over in Tuscaloosa. I know Coach Oates is excited about seeing that, right, where they can have their offices, where he can interact with the players a lot better. Listen, Greg Burns has done a tremendous job over at Alabama, and I think, frankly, the run by Alabama this year can solidify them as a quote-unquote basketball as well as a football school. Winning the league, right there, close to winning the league last year in that game against Tennessee where Latrell Wrightsell wasn't able to play. They've been on the brink of domination. And so this year, with those expectations, I'm able to see if they can fulfill those expectations. They have the coach, they have the talent, they just have to execute.
Peter, you brought up watching them compete against UConn, and we saw the North Carolina clip right there. I don't think a lot of people understand how Coach Oates gives his players confidence, right? Allows them to shoot. And when you have a coach that says, we want you to shoot, do not turn down shots. As a matter of fact,
he said we can bench if
you don't shoot. Now, here's the difference, though. It's not about going out there and shooting. If you watch their practices, those guys, he drills those guys. They shoot hundreds and hundreds of shots. They do incredible individual work. So you got to put the work in to have the right and deserve to shoot. So they put in the work, and then Coach Oates gives them that confidence to go out there. That's why when you say they can compete with anybody, it's because they're the most dangerous offense in the country. The most dangerous offense in the country, because not only do they have the freedom, but they put the work in the practice court to be able to make those shots.
Fish, how many times did we see an Alabama team come out and you're like, what in the world's going on? And all of a sudden, they're down 12 or something like that, and then you turn, and literally, you go back, you go grab a drink of water, you're back, you're like, how in the hell are they up 3? Microwavable offense.
Their runs are as good as you'll see in all of college basketball. I am concerned a little bit. Chris Youngblood was on a scooter when I was over there. They're not sure when
They should
he's
outlaw
going to come
those
back.
things, man.
You know, but they've had some injuries, right? But they've got a challenging non-conference schedule, to say the least. So I am interested to see, can they help carry the torch of the SEC in non-conference play with that highly touted transfer portal class as they face the likes of Purdue's and Creighton's. I mean, it's just going to be a huge non-conference schedule this
They have, 15 games this year against the way too early top 25, according to ESPN. So, I mean, it's iron sharpens iron.
And Coach, he talks about it. He goes, that's what he wants to schedule. And the way that you have quad 1, quad 2, and how they build the resume, they reward you for playing those games.
Yeah.
And, of course, you want to win those games, but they do give you credit for playing those games and scheduling those.
I am curious because in football, a lot, like, well, let's go back to Coach Saban and some of the programs he had. We see it at Georgia as well, too. All of a sudden, when you're really, really deep, guys leave your program because you're like, I want to be the man somewhere else. You're talking about 6 different guys here that have scored over 1,000 points. There's only one basketball to go around, Fish. So how do you go about making sure everybody gets those promises that you made to say, come down here to T-Town?
Leadership. Mark Sears is the guy. We talked about him just a little bit earlier in regards to how he manufactured points in the NCAA tournament, second behind Zach Edey. This year, he'll have to pick and choose. When is he going to be aggressive offensively, and when will he distribute the basketball?
Quickly, they don't make any promises, and secondly, they have so many possessions in a game that everybody can eat.
That is true. One of the guys that scored over 1,000 points, Latrell Wrightsell. I'm getting a little bit hungry, so we'll let Ron Slay do all the heavy lifting now.
I tell you what, man, I'm over here with Latrell Wrightsell Jr., and none of y'all on the desk could shoot like he did.
So now let's listening
over 60%
to the to one of the players from the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Put in the work, man. You know, we hear Coach Oates is a big believer in shooting the ball, and that's why I came here. And one thing is just being able to knock down shots consistently, and we talk about that all the time, man, doing it efficiently. So being able to do that and keep that, that's what I got to do to bring us to win games.
You talk about, man, when you look at teams being able to return a lot of guys and nucleus like you guys are, you call it luck nowadays with the transfer portal, but what is it about the culture that Coach Oates has said and you guys have bought into to be able to return guys like yourself, Mark Sears, Grant Nelson, so forth and so on?
I think he challenges us. He doesn't keep us in a place of comfort. And when we're getting challenged every day and we understand that the challenge is set for us each and every day, day in, day out in practice, we like that. And then it puts us in a position to succeed. And we want to be successful in basketball, and not just in basketball, but in life. And he does that both ways. So that's why we all came back.
It's a lot of guys, man, that did move on, and then with you coming back, I always looked at you like that guy, that intangible guy. When y'all need a big shot, you were willing to make a big stop, you were willing to make it. What's something else that you add to, or someone else that adds that same dynamic that you do that kind of caught you by surprise in this offseason?
I like freshman. He came in, LeBaron Filion. He just like me, played just as hard. Play defense, but also can play offense too, and also can be on the ball, a distributor, and also just handle pressure well as a freshman. And we also got a lot of other guys, but him in particular, he's been really good for us.
Love that, man. So, impersonation of Coach Oates, as we throw it back to them, like, what's something that he does every single day where y'all look at each other like, there go Coach Oates again, doing it again?
Oh, yeah. You miss a shot, or you turn the ball over. Come on.
PB, come on, dude.
I would say maybe that's part of the case. Maybe that's actually the part of the case whenever Coach Oates was trying to call Pat Bradley and Pat Bradley didn't pick up the phone. Were you upset?
You got to take that call,
I heard that rumor that was floating around. What happened here?
I thought it was a bill collector.
Pat called me. Pat always calls it like after hours.
After hours, doesn't it?
I'm like, guys, I'm so asleep around here.
He doesn't watch your film, Coach.
Then I call him back during normal hours, and he doesn't want to pick up the call. You know,
that's good. That's real.
I love it. It's a lot of smiles, right? You see it with Latrell's been over here a couple years. Mark Sears, you've been such a joy to watch. What's different this year? You know, coming into this season, why does it feel new to you?
Especially the talent that we have and practicing in and day out. It feels like a SEC championship game every day in practice, though, because of the way we push each other and we make each other better.
You know, you've got a lot of new faces, young blood, Phylon, Reed, the list goes on and on. I'm going to ask you a tough question. Who's impressed you the most up to this point?
Really, all of them, but
Oh,
if I
man,
had to give you
come
one in
on,
particular,
man.
I'd say LeBaron. You know,
Okay.
an Alabama native. You know, he plays hard, can distribute, can score, and can play defense, and plays with effort.
Nice.
Coach, one of the questions that was asked, go to the Final Four. How do you continue to motivate, some guys getting complacent? I know it's helpful to get new guys in that want to be a part of that success, but what did you do in the offseason to make sure these guys aren't just riding off this great run they had last season?
I mean, if they'd achieved everything they wanted to achieve in college, they wouldn't be back in college. So, like Mark, we had a great run. He's had a really good year. He averaged 21 plus, but went to a Final Four. But he's trying to play in the NBA. We're trying to win championship. Like, he's back to get something done. Grant Nelson's back. These guys all graduated. I mean, he's a college graduate. Reitzel's a college graduate. Grant's, they've all graduated. So they're back to accomplish something. So that's the biggest motivator. Then, like you said, we did bring in some new guys, and like Mark was saying, they're getting pushed every day too. Right. I mean, if Mark doesn't bring his A game, LeBaron's bringing it right at him every day, which is making Mark better. It's making our team better. It's making everybody better. And Mark's had 2 really good days of practice back to back coming into this. But if he doesn't bring it, like he said, LeBaron's pushing him. So it's making Mark better to have to go against those guys every day in practice too.
One of the great things about having a guy like Mark Sears back, who everyone's familiar with, is we also get to know their family really well. I was fortunate enough after a game, to take a picture with your mom, Mama Sears.
Yeah, you can see it.
Look at her.
There it is.
Mama Sears. She is the most bedazzled person in the stands constantly, never stops talking. What kind of advice is she giving you there? Is that nonstop?
Yeah, it's nonstop. Especially if I miss a free throw, I'm gonna hear about it after the game. She's gonna critique me on how to shoot it and everything.
You can't put me on air and have him miss the free throw. Those don't mesh well. It's got to go in every time.
So is she doing that in youth basketball too?
Yeah, she's been doing that since I was in Little League. I mean, she's been the same person ever since. From Little League to middle school to high school to college. So she's been the same person.
We're going to expect to see her in every arena.
Of course.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Of course.
Yeah. The Sears travel now.
Nate, I'm going to go back to hoops a little bit. You have a tennis schedule. I mean, I think about the Purdue's that you're playing in the non-conference. Burns talked about it earlier. How many teams are ranked in the top 25? You deal with a few injuries now, but as you approach these expectations that you've now set at Alabama, what stands out most to you?
Yeah, I mean, we've always played tough non-conference, and it's just as tough this year as it's ever been. I think last year was the toughest strength of schedule since 1997 on KenPom, I believe. So, we've got Houston, Carolina, Purdue on the road, Illinois. I mean, I think 15 of our 31 games are against top 25 teams, and others are receiving votes. So, we've got the program up to where we're a nationally recognized program, and now going into these games, they're not just games to play to get good experience. We're going in to try to win these games to get our seeding where it needs to be.
Nice.
30 seconds or less. You got 6 guys that score 1,000 points. There's only one basketball. How you do it?
We got really good guys that want to make each other better. I mean, I think Sears has done a really good job distributing it. But, we've got some guys that can score the basketball a little bit and have scored it at a high level in college. But they all understand they sacrificed to come here to play for championships. So probably ask him. He's got to share the ball, too.
I tell you what, that's when you know you were fishing, because I gave him a clock, and I was like, hey, there was an internal clock, and he's going to hit it right there. Hey, Mark Sears, can't wait to see you ball out right there. Can't wait to see Coach Oates back out there. Hopefully no hole-in-one since the last time we saw you right there. All right, that wraps it up for us for right here, right now. Ron Slade, great job. We'll put all the lunch bill on you. Here's the best of the best last couple hours. I don't think I've ever seen anybody rock the jacket like that over there at BD Days, Coach. That is a look.
Was that the Letterman's jacket from '96?
No, this is brand new. I think there's only 4 in the whole world right now. I kind of like that.
Can you play the cello? That's what they want to know. Right now, I might be a little whack. I might be trash right now. I'm telling you, in middle school, I was nice. I'm telling you, I was dead nice. Let's get in that power pose. Get the ball right here. Let's go.
The fish.
No photo
picture that RJ Godfrey
caught, and I heard the biggest scream, "Oh my God!" About 5 minutes later, he comes in, he shows me the picture of the fish he caught. Wow.
What you think Coach Jans is in there listening to?
I don't even think he listens to music. I think he just talks to himself. I don't know what he do.
Kentucky has been on top of college basketball for the longest. I grew up a Kentucky fan. I'm all the way in Cali.
This is welcome to Rocky Guy.
Who can best each other here?
In golf?
Yeah.
He got it. Thank you.
He got a couple more years in the game.
Seasoned vet.
Go get a bucket anytime you want to. You know I like it down there when you get to do that. I get a bucket right now.
These are for you guys. Very sentimental from me and Kai. That's one of my personal favorites.
Oh, well, they're different.
That'll do it. Come on, everybody.